So after seeing Born in China, I went and saw the movie Gifted. The new indie film from Marc Webb, the guy who made the big indie hit 500 Days of Summer, and also did the Amazing Spider-Man movies, which it's still weird to me that he made those, because I still pretty much believe that the only reason he made those was because his last name was Webb. That's the only reason. And like I said, I know a lot of people hate those movies. The second one wasn't very good. It had some good elements. Like I said, he's very good at making like romantic movies more than action movies, if that makes any sense. Because like the romance in The Amazing Spider-Man was better than pretty much the rest of the movie. It was like somebody best said it was like it was a really great romantic comedy that just happened to have Spider-Man in it. Yeah, exactly. So, like, after the disaster of fucking Amazing Spider-Man 2, apparently he's going back to doing indie films. And I got the trailer for this a few times here and there, and I thought it was like, looks alright. Nothing, doesn't look like anything really special, but whatever. It looks harmless. And it came out like earlier this month, like a limited release, and it never came to my theater. I was like, well, I guess we're never getting that. And then, surprise to me, we got it this past weekend, and I'm like, all right, I'll go check that out. I heard it's getting decent reviews, and yeah, it's pretty good. It's a movie it's nothing groundbreaking, or it's nothing you haven't seen done before, but it's a fine film. It's just like Born in China. It's perfectly fine for what it is, and really there's nothing offensive or nothing that pisses me off about it. It just was perfectly fine, and that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing at all. Chris Evans is great as he is a really good actor. He is becoming a really, really, really good actor. And he is really good as this guy who I can kind of sympathize with, because I got a little niece who I love to death. And, I was sitting there thinking about, I would probably be doing the same thing that he is doing in this situation. That, like I'd be pretty much doing the exact same thing he is doing in this movie, which is trying to raise his niece on his own and trying his hardest not to screw up. He's doing what he thinks is the best he can do. He is a really decent guy. Like the fact that I guess I'll get into that more. I guess this is kind of getting to one of the things I have a problem with this movie, is that really there's no reason why this guy should be like about to lose custody of this little girl. He's doing a fucking good job. There's nothing he's doing that's really bad. Like, other than not taking her into this school for the gifted, and the whole movie is that, she, if you've seen the trailers, this little girl, who is really good, by the way, I want to mention that too. The little girl is really good. Like, at first I was worried, because from the trailers and from the beginning of this movie, I was like, this is one of those characters that easily could become really annoying, because she could easily become one of those characters that doesn't talk like a normal fucking kid, which sometimes she has that problem, but also at the same time, she was really good. I liked it. She was really funny. I love the part where there's a part where she was on a school bus. My favorite part of the whole movie was she was on a school bus, and there was this little kid who had this little art project with all these dinosaurs, and he was very proud of it, and everything else. And this bully tripped him and basically knocked him to the ground, and he broke his little art project, and it broke it and everything else. And the kid's picking on him, and she said, "Hey, that's not very nice." And he's like, "Well, what the fuck are you gonna do about it?" She thinks about it for a second, takes a kid next to her, takes a book from the kid next to her, and just smacks him in the head with it. I was like, damn! It's like it breaks his nose. That was kind of awesome. I was like, I said, bravo, girl, bravo. That's like that was kind of fucking awesome. That's one of the inciting incidents that causes him to. But like I said, at the same time, it's like he has a valid reason. Like, there's a valid reason why he doesn't want to have his niece go, even though she's very gifted and very intelligent for a kid her age, he wants her to just be a normal kid and have a normal life. And that's fucking understandable, because you understand where he's coming from. Because what they don't show you in the trailers, and this is not really getting to spoilers, but because you get the gist from the trailers that the mother died, his sister died, and he basically started taking care of his niece because of that. Well, what they don't show you in the trailer, which I'm not surprised they didn't show it in the trailer, is that they explain this early on, so this is not really spoilers, is that what happened was his sister came to him one night asking to talk to him because she really needed to talk to someone. And he was running late for a date, and he told her, I will be back. We can go talk then. I got to go on a date and everything else. Well, when he came back home from his date, he found his sister dead from a suicide. That fucking sucks. Yeah. She apparently, from what this movie's telling you, is that she, her mom pressured her into having, using her, because she was like this really smart mathematician, ahead of her time, everything else like that, one of the smartest people of her time, and she never was allowed to be given a normal life, and that's why he wants to, let his niece have a normal life, because her mother never got to have one, and because of that, it's kind of hinted at that's the reason why she ended up committing suicide. And it's like, yeah, whatever. I said, it's fucking completely understandable. And they point that out a lot during, the court case and everything else. It's like, dude, this guy should not be, in a realistic world, I would think this wouldn't be a open and closed case, but although I might be fucking wrong on that, but I mean, it's so you would think. He's a decent guy. He's not beating his niece. He's not abusing her. He's not physically or emotionally or abusing her. He's a good guy. He lives in a shitty, not the greatest of apartments, but neither is mine. Whatever. But he's a good guy. And also yet Octavia Spencer is great. She's always great as an actress, as the little neighbor next door that helps take care of him, or helps him take care of her. And then you have Jenny Slate as the teacher that is the love interest in this movie, which one of the best scenes in the movie, I'll admit, it was pretty funny, was that he ends up meeting her at a bar. She ends up meeting him at a bar, and they get drunk, and then they end up sleeping together, and she's like, and the little girl is next door with Octavia Spencer, so they figure that she won't come back for a while, and the little girl ends up coming back a little too early, and catches the teacher walking around with a bedcloth on. That was kind of funny. This movie, like I said, it's a fine film, and it's perfectly fine. This movie has some cheeseball moments. The one best example of a really fucking cheeseball moment that just stood out like a fucking sore thumb was that scene in the movie where this was really stupid. This scene was kind of really stupid. Like I was like that was really dumb. There's a scene where she had, like, if you're wondering, her little girl's father basically abandoned her and the mother at birth, and he doesn't even really know her name. Like, he pops up like in the trial and really doesn't even know anything about this little girl or even know her name or anything about her, and wants nothing to do with her basically. And he what was I gonna say? He hold on a second, I was looking at something. Some reason I didn't understand this part. Chris Evans mentions to the little girl that her dad was at the trial and that basically lets it slip that he didn't even really want to see her. That's kind of a fucking dick thing to do. And of course, she has a really bad reaction to that. And he's like, after she won't come out of the bathroom, she's crying nonstop and everything else. He's like, all right, let's go take a ride. Him and Octavia Spencer and the little girl go take a ride to a hospital of all places. And they sit there in the waiting room, waiting. They're like, what the fuck are we waiting for? What are we doing? And you're like, just be patient. Just give it time. It'll happen. You're sitting there like, okay, what's the payoff to this? And the payoff is there's a guy comes out of the emergency room and says, it's a girl. Everybody's in this waiting room starts celebrating and everything else like that. So what he wanted to show her was that he was the one in the emergency room when his sister gave birth, which I was like, that's a little weird. I was like, am I the only one who thought that was a little weird? And that everybody was happy when she was born, and that she was surrounded by happiness when she was born. I'm like, that was cheesy. I was like, that reaction that family had in the waiting room was the reaction of her whole family when she was born. I'm like, that was stupid. It's like, that was really fucking stupid. I was like, and she was all alone. I was like, that was a really again. I was like, also at the same time, I was like, who lets their brother in the emergency room while they're giving birth? That's a weird fucking thing. I mean, I know the dad was non-existent, but I did whatever. And she had a bad relationship with the mother, but that's still weird. Yeah. I mean, I guess I don't know. I mean, it's just like I said, my sister would be like, "Fuck you, get the hell out of the emergency room." I know my sister would not have it. I would not want to be in the emergency room. My sister gave birth. Anyways, yeah. So I recommend seeing Gifted. It's a fine film, perfectly fine. I enjoyed it. It made me feel feelings. It's a very touching little film. I also like that little cat that they had, Fred, who had only had one eye. It was kind of adorable. It was like this little cat the girl found when she was younger in a trash can next to some beer bottles, and don't know why he only has one eye, but that's just... And he's a funny little cat. The mom also is pretty funny, or pretty good. I don't know her name. She's a British lady who's just kind of an uppity bitch. It's basically it. It's fighting Chris Evans for custody for the little girl. So I recommend the movie. It's a perfectly fine film. It's definitely recommend seeing it on a rental or cheap movie theater. It's you want to go if there's something you've seen everything worth seeing and you want to see something, go check it out. That's basically my recommendation for it. As far as trailers go, I got two trailers. Step, that's what the movie's called. It's called Step. It's a documentary about like this I forget what word it was. As a group of black teenage girls who do this form of dance as a group, and they kind of live in the ghetto of I forget, what was it, Baltimore? Yeah, it was like the ghetto of Baltimore, and they try to have a better life through, like, they try to like get along and like have a better life and try to graduate while also just you know have this form of dance. They're this dance group or something like that. I don't know. It looked like something I'm not that that's not gonna interest me that much. It's called, at least it's Step. Yeah, whatever. And then the last trailer I got was weird. It was a very short trailer. I've heard of this title, but I never knew what it was about. I thought called The Book of Henry. When I heard of The Book of Henry, I thought, oh, is this like a religious movie or something like that? No. It's a movie with Naomi Watts. She's a mom who moves in with her son next door to a police chief of this town and his daughter, and they start to see that through spying on this house next door to them, they see that the police chief is very abusive when he's drunk to the little daughter, and so they want to tell somebody about it, and they have it on fucking video, caught it on video and stuff like that, but they're afraid to go to the police because, what a shock, he's a police chief. So yeah, it's one of those kinds of movies. Yeah, that's that it looked alright. It didn't look terrible, but it's like, alright, whatever. I've seen that a million times before, those kinds of movies a million times before, but whatever. That's as far as trailers go. I'll be back. I originally was going to go see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 today, but I was just too tired. I will go see it in the next few days, sometime in the next few days, and I'll have a review for that. Until then, I'll talk to you guys later.